Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to today's tutorial. My name is Chidiebere. If you are just joining us, this is a continuation of our tutorial project which we are working on. It's a ride sharing application, and so far we've been able to create our sign up, sign in, login page, which is this. And we've also gone ahead to add firebase authentication to our project here, and as well as add Firestore so that we will be able to add the user data, store the user data for later use in our application. So without wasting much of your time, today we want to be want to add Google Map to our application for navigation, for route, and the rest of them, just like you see in apps like Uber, Bolt, and other ride sharing application. So let me show you a bit of what we've done so far by reloading this page. We have our splash screen, we have our onboarding page, we have our login. I've disabled the onboarding page because I don't want to waste time. So this is the splash screen. It shows for AP, it shows for a few seconds, and then this is the login page which we have here. So I've gone ahead to create an account before, so I'm going to use that account. So we log in and see what we have so far. So this is what we have. This is where we are going to add our Google Map, and it's called Map Page. So without further ado, let's quickly go over to PubSpec. In PubSpec, look for Google Maps Flutter, search for it. It takes you to this place. The first one, select this first one. It takes you all the way to this place. This is it. Go to installing. Go to installing. Copy this here and come over to your project, and then on your pubspec.yaml file, add it here and then do pubget. Then the next thing we want to do is that we want to go over to the Readme file. This is the Readme file that tells us what we need to do for us to be able to integrate this Flutter map SDK. So first thing they say we should do, we want to get our API key. So we go to the Google developer, to this particular platform here. Now I want to show you something. This is where I created my Reflex application, and in my project it's Reflex, and this is where I created it in my Firebase. So you have to make sure you have this app in your Firebase before going over to console.cloud.google.com. Sorry about that. So this is my account which I'm currently using. I also make sure that when you open your console.cloud.google.com, you have this same account here. So what do we want to do? We want to enable Google Map. So we go over to API and services, go to libraries, and then so when you open this, make sure that over here you can do this is the recent project I worked on. You can do all for you to be able to see all the projects, all your projects which you've created on Firebase. So this is the one I want to connect to. So I've already connected to it, and this is what I want to enable. It's one of the most commonly used APKs or SDK rather. This is it here. You can search for it here, Maps SDK for Google Android. So I go ahead and click it here. Once I click it, it's going to take me to where I need to enable it. So I will go ahead and enable that feature here. So it's going to take some few seconds to enable and also create my API key for me. So it's going to create my API key. It's creating my API key. So that's why you're seeing this, it's already taking it out. It shows API key somewhere here. So while this is loading, we go back to our project and we go to our library folder and we create a new file, a new .dat file, and we call it map config.dat. So we create this. This is where we'll be storing our map key. So we say string map key, and then we create this. So this is where we'll be storing it for later use. So it's asking for billing account. I thought I said this before. So you have to add billing to your console.cloud.com. Do I need to do this? Let's say I'm here to build I don't know why they are showing me this. Okay, let's quickly run through it so that if you too see it, you can be able to know. Select the use case. What do I want to do? Sorry, driving behavior, driving simulation. Okay, let's just do, and then what is the size of the company, this account. I'm self-employed, so I submit. So I created this before, so they've generated my API key. This is my API key, so I'm going to go ahead and copy it and go over to this place, and then I'll store it here. This is my key here, so I can continue to the Google Map platform over here, and it's going to show me all the APIs I have enabled for this particular application. So I will say maybe later. I'm not restricting the key now. I just want to leave it open. I will disable this after this tutorial. So I have Google Map SDK for Android. This is the one I enabled. And then I want to also show you, in case you didn't get your API key, you can get it by simply going to this place and then credentials. And it's going to load my API keys for me here. So this is the one I enabled today. So this is it. I can copy it here and then use it if you were not able to copy it before. But since I've been able to do this, then we are done with this place. So we go over to our these are all the steps they say we should do, which we've done. And then they say we should set minimum SDK version to 20. So for you to set minimum SDK version to 20, go over to your Android folder, go to your app folder, to your source folder, main folder, then sorry, not that I thought, under your app folder, build.gradle. So look for where they say minimum SDK version. When you create your project, the default value here is 16, but because I'm using firebase authentication, which requires minimum of 21, I've set mine to 23. You can set yours to any version, but it must not be less than 20, just like they specified here. So go ahead and set yours to 23 if you want. Then the next thing we will be doing is to add this particular metadata to our manifest. We want to add it to our manifest. So I copy this line, copy. I go over to under my source folder, under my main folder, android.manifest. So you scroll all the way down to the last manifest you have. and after that, sorry, to the last metadata, and then you paste it here. So they are asking for my API key. So we go over to this place, and this API key I stored before. I'm going to copy it here, and then I'm going to go over to this place and then store this in here. So with this done, let's see. If you are also building for iOS, then you have to simply copy all these what's it called, code lines of code here. Go to your app delegate.swift and replace everything you have there with this, and make sure you paste your API key, which is this, into that place. So with that done, you are ready to go, and we are ready to start coding. So in your main.pub your main.dat file, if you copy everything you have here and paste in there, it will automatically give you the Google map you are looking for. But we don't want to use the default boiler code which they are providing us with, but we are going to make use of some of the codes which we are seeing here. So the first thing we want to do, we are done with this and with this and with this, and this is our main dot. So we want to open our map page. This is it here, which shows us this. So what we want to do here is to remove this widget, center widget, and this state we are going to use a stack widget, and specify children, and Google map. Exactly. So we are going to specify the settings for this Google map, or the parameter for it. I say map type, and I want the map type. Sometimes you can have stretched, normal, satellite. So I want a normal map type here. And then the second thing I want to enable my location button. I want to set it to true. And another thing is my location, for it to show your current location, I want to set it to true. And then the next thing we want to set is the initial camera position. Now, they've given us a sample here, camera position, which is focusing on Google complex, and these are the coordinates, and this is the zoom. So copy this piece of code, line of code here, come over to your project, go to this place and paste it here, right here. So for this particular initial camera position, we are going to use this K complex here. So we are going to go ahead to say K Googleplex. So the next thing we want to set is the onMap, or the function or the method we want to call. When our map is created, what do we want to do? We are going to create a controller, a Google Map controller, and we call it controller. So with this created, we are going to go ahead and then specify some parameters inside of it. So the next thing we want to copy is this completer here, which we are going to use, completer. And oh, it's already showing our Google map. That's nice. So I paste this here, and I want to use this controller, which is here, and then I add controller dot complete. So what do I want to pass to it? I want to pass controller, this controller here. I want to pass this controller to it so that you can be able to manipulate it. And then the next thing I want to add is a Google Map controller, a new Google Map controller. I do this. And I also can assign this controller to it. So we are going to go ahead and create this Google Map controller all the way at the top here. by saying Google Map Controller new the variable which we are calling down there, which is showing us error controller. So we create a new Google Map controller here. So this error will be gone. So this is what we currently have, and this is how to add Google Map to our project. So for you to be able to see, this is the Google complex here. This is the location which it brought us to, and in the next tutorial, we are going to see how to get our location initial to focus the camera on our current location. Wherever you are, Google is going to search for your device and position the camera in the location where you are. Just for test purpose, let me quickly, sometimes if you don't get this, you might need to stop your application and start it again, but because of time and running and synchronizing it takes a lot of time for me. That's why I have it running before starting the tutorial. So I'm going to hot reload it here so that we go over the process one more time and see what it gives us. So this is our splash screen which we have. This is the splash screen here. After the splash screen is the sign in, sign up, and just like I told you, I already have signed up on my this is the one I'm using, edge@g.com. So I'm going to go over to login, and I'm going to use edge@g.com, and I'm going to use my password 12345 6. You can still use this same credentials to log in, just to test run the app. Then I click on login. It tries to verify, and yes, it does. It verifies and it takes us directly to the Flutter page. So in our next tutorial, we'll be looking at how to get current location and also add some new little nice features like menu, search, a box, and the rest of them to our project. Thank you for your time. See you in the next tutorial.